Good morning, everyone. Chris Prophy, musically obsessed. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my first video on Pink Floyd. And what I wanted to do is take one of my very first albums by Pink Floyd that I ever listened to that really got me into the band. And then, from there, I just jumped right into Pink Floyd. Some of my favorite animals. Some of my favorite records by them are Animals, the soundtrack to the film More, the soundtrack to the film The Valley called Obscured by Clouds, and this little compilation. This is called Relics by Pink Floyd, and it has a couple different covers. There's a front cover that has a machine, a drawing of a futuristic machine on it. There's also a remastered CD version that has the futuristic machine actually built, and there's a picture of it on the front cover, but I really prefer this cover. I always thought that mask was very creepy, and it really just kind of goes right along with the title. This is a bizarre collection of antiques and curios. So, that's just like the perfect cover for this album. This is the back cover. Another creepy mask. This came out on the Harvest label. So you've got the classic yellow Harvest label. I love that. And this compilation came out in 1971. And at the time, this might have been one of the only ways that you could have heard some early singles by Pink Floyd, and there was also a song on here that had never appeared on an album at that time. So let me just walk you through the songs and tell you why this is one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums. So the first song is Arnold Layne, and that is a Syd Barrett early single, and it's just got all of the elements that make Syd Barrett songs great. It's got a childlike musical vibe to it, almost nursery rhyme-esque. It's the topic, though, is not child-friendly. It's about a cross-dresser, so stealing clothes off of people's clothesline. So sort of an interesting, musical take on that topic. Track 2. One of my favorite instrumentals of all time, called Interstellar Overdrive. This is originally from Piper at the Gates of Dawn. This instrumental is awesome. The first time I heard it, I loved it. Every time I listen to the song, I hear something different in it than I never have. It's got a heavy, heavy guitar main riff that kind of comes in and out and then comes back towards the end. It's over 9 minutes of mayhem, just mind-altering. It breaks down into just little blips of sound, and then it just comes back with that main heavy guitar riff towards the end. But it's just a great, great song. Turn off the lights, drop the needle on Interstellar Overdrive. Just a great, great song. Track 3, See Emily Play. This is another early single by Syd Barrett. I would use the term folk rock to describe the song. It's just a great, great early song by Syd Barrett. Track 4, Remember a Day. This is from Saucerful of Secrets, and this is where we hear Richard Wright's vocals. They're very echoey on this song. I love the percussion in this song. It's just, Richard Wright sort of has a very, I'm going to use the term mature sound to his voice. It's just, it fits with his compositions. And you can always tell a Richard Wright composition. It definitely has a different sound than some of the other members bring. And I like it. And this is a perfect example, Remember a Day. Now, the one track on here that is really not my favorite, but it's still a good song, is track number 5 off of side 1. It's the song Paintbox. Now, this was the B-side to an early song by Pink Floyd called Apples and Oranges. This is a Richard Wright composition. Richard Wright sings on it as well. It's just not one of my favorite songs. It's still a good song, but With everything else on this album, that song I feel like is a weak moment for me. All right, now we're moving into side 2. Okay. Side 2 opens up with Julia Dream. This is sung by David Gilmour. It's a folk psych classic. Very warm vocals, a dreamy feel to it. It was the B-side to a song called It Would Be So Nice. David Gilmour just does a beautiful job on this song. Julia Dream is just a highlight of this album. Then coming in at number 7, we have another instrumental. This one's called Careful With That Axe, Eugene. And this was the B-side to a song called Point Me at the Sky. It's atmospheric, it's heavy. And then you get that whisper, careful with that axe, Eugene. And then the song just blows up. It's just another great instrumental. They do it great live versions of it as well. So if you haven't listened to live versions of Careful With That Axe, Eugene, you're definitely going to have to check that out. Number 8, Cirrus Minor. This is sung by Gilmour. This is similar to Julia Dream. It's definitely folky. It's got, it opens up with the sound of birds in the beginning, so it gives you that atmosphere right from the beginning. This is off of one of my favorite Pink Floyd albums called More. And if you have not given love to the album More, you gotta listen to it. It's just a great album. I've really, nothing against The Wall, nothing against Dark Side of the Moon, but I really feel like a lot of times those albums are overplayed, and I kind of like to go back to the earlier albums. Like I said, Obscured by Clouds, More, this compilation Relics. I feel like sometimes it has a little bit more to offer. And again, there's songs that you don't really hear that often. Number 9, excuse me, is the Nile Song. Now this song, sung by Gilmour, this is also off of the soundtrack More. This is a heavy song, so heavy that Voivod, the Canadian metal band Voivod, covered this song. Great vocals by Gilmour. It's another classic Pink Floyd song. It really doesn't sound anything like, if you're used to listening to The Wall and Dark Side of the Moon, and then you drop the needle on the Nile Song, it sounds totally different. But that's why I like it. This is also from the soundtrack More. Number 10. Now, this was at the time a previously unreleased song called Biding My Time. It's real jazzy. Vocals by Roger Waters. Definitely laid back. Sort of gives you that, let's get in the hammock and just let the wind blow along. It's folk rock. Just a great song. And again, like I said, at the point that this album came out in 1971, this was previously unreleased. And then it ends with the song Bike off of Piper at the Gates of Dawn. And this is a Syd Barrett song. Again, it's got that nursery rhyme vibe to it. He had a childlike quality to his lyrics, a childlike quality to his delivery. And I love the sound effects at the end. It's kind of a fun way to end this album. So if you have never heard this compilation, I would definitely get it. Again, all these songs we can get now, we can listen to on Spotify, but there's something about dropping the needle and hearing these songs in this sequence that, brings back memories for me, and I think it's just a great sequence of songs. Again, this is the cover that I like, and there are a couple other different covers, but this one kind of grabbed me. So I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on Pink Floyd. Do you like later Pink Floyd? Do you like early Pink Floyd? Do you like all of Pink Floyd? What do you think of the Syd Barrett years? Have you ever heard this compilation? What do you think of it? I'd be interested to know. So subscribe, like, share, comment below, and tell me what you think. Have a great day.